I'm Raymond Camden, API evangelist for Foxit, and today I want to show you our new developer-focused APIs to help you do powerful workflows with your documents. We're going to start off on our main website, developer-api.foxit.com. From here, you can gain a lot of information and also get an idea of what these APIs offer. So, for example, we have PDF services, we have document generation, PDF Embed, and eSign. For each of these, you can go into the document and take a look at what's being offered and also see some interesting code examples as well. For example, on the PDF services pages here, I could see both creating a PDF, HTML to PDF, PDF compare, and so forth, and multiple different code samples to give you an idea of what's involved actually working with these APIs. So PDF services are generally our tool chest of basic PDF operations. So a lot of to PDF, a lot of from PDF, PDF split, merge, etc. Document generation is different in that it takes a Microsoft Word template where you can create whatever you want. And you basically include some little tokens in there. And when you call this API with your data, we can replace those tokens to create a new Word document or new PDF document. So, a great example of that would be invoices. You hit your back end, you get a list of things that you need to send out. And for each of those, you can use one Microsoft Word template and then generate dynamic PDFs for each of those unique invoices. Now, PDF embed, that allows you to take a PDF and put it on your website. Now, you may be asking, don't browsers already do a real good job of that? Yes, they do, but they typically take over the entire screen. So any part of your website that was showing is gone. Our embed API lets you actually take that PDF and put it on the page itself. We also give you more control over the viewing experience and how people interact with it. For eSign, this is our incredibly flexible, powerful electronic signing system. And of course, we have great APIs behind them that allow you to do various automations and work with the signing process. So, how do you get started? Well, you can click the Start for free. This is going to bring you to our login page. And what we're going to do is first log in, and we are going to create a new Foxit account. And let me type that in real quick. And once I give it my email address, it's going to send out a verification code so I can prove that I am who I say I am. And all I have to do is wait a few seconds, definitely less than a minute. And then that verification code will show up and I could drop it right in the form. All right, I've got that code. I drop it in there, set up a good secure password, agree to the terms, and then give a little bit of information, first and last name and company name is the minimum, and create the account. So now I have a Foxit account and I could add both PDF services or document generation or both to my account. I'm going to click get started and then bam, I have a host name, I have a client ID and client secret. I could take these and save them securely so I can reference them again. While I'm here, I could also add document generation, also very easy. And notice this go to dashboard. This will take you to our developer dashboard where you can see how many credits you have, and you get 500 both for PDF services and DocGen for free. But you can keep track of how many you have called, how many API calls you've done, even things like the success rate, as well as how much time is left. If I want to actually see more information, for example, let's say I lost my credentials, I went into applications, I picked the PDF services API application, and I can see those credentials again. And I have other settings like I can look at usage quota. I can even do things in here, for example, if I want to get rid of it or if I need to rename it for whatever reason. But this dashboard will be really useful and something that you want to bookmark and keep handy. So once you have your credentials, what do you do next? Well, from our webpage, we have a link to the docs for PDF services, document generation, etc. And this will have a getting started guide, and it'll also have a breakdown of all the different APIs and exactly how they work. So, for example, PDF from Word, what endpoint you have to use and what you have to send. Now, the nice thing is that a lot of our APIs follow a very similar format in that the first thing you'll do is upload a document, and we have an API for that. You upload your data to us, and we give you a document ID back. You take that document ID, and that is what's used in the particular operation. So, when I create a PDF from a Word document, I call upload, I get that document ID, and then I can call this particular operation to start the process. This returns a task, and our operations are going to be asynchronous. And we have one more API, get task status, that can tell you how the API is going. So you can check this on an interval like 1 a second or 1 every 5 seconds or so. How long an operation will take will be based on how complex of a job that you've started. When it is complete, you can then call our download document API then to actually get the result of that operation and save it to your file system. So again, most of our APIs are going to follow the exact same type flow. So what's good about that is like once you've done an operation, for example, converting a Word document to PDF, if you need to support Excel or HTML or PowerPoint, so forth, you can pretty much just copy and paste and reuse most of that code, which I think is really, really well done. So again, this documentation, I'll go back to the main side just so you could see one more time. Right there, there's a link to documentation for each of our API offerings, and that will bring you in here where, again, you could see all the different endpoints, what's required, and what comes out. Just once again, to make sure it's really clear, typical API flow will be upload the document, tell us what you want to do with it, check to see how that process is going, and then when done, download that particular resource to your file system. So if I converted input.docx, a Word document, when I'm done, I'm going to save that result as input.pdf or whatever makes sense. So I see that we have a few questions. One of them is asking about AI support. Just so happens that recently we released on GitHub a Foxit Cloud API MCP server. Now, you can use this now with Visual Studio Code and Copilot, but once you follow these directions, you can, via Copilot, ask it to do things like, can you convert this document to a PDF? Can you extract from this document? All via Copilot and our MCP server. The question I'm seeing is about that 500 transactions. How is that actually charged? Well, we only charge for the actual operation. So when I talked about the flow, you upload that Word document, you ask us to convert it to PDF, you check to see if we're done yet, and when we are, you download the result. That's 4 API calls, maybe 5 if the conversion takes more than a few seconds, but you are only going to be charged for that one particular operation, which I think is very nice and generous. Next question is there any sample code we could use? Well, also up on GitHub, under our Foxit software org, we have a repository, developer API demos, which, as you can imagine, is a large set of demos. A lot of Python code, a lot of Node.js code, a lot of examples that you can just copy and paste and start working once you have your credentials. So, where do you go next? Well, certainly, definitely click that start for free. Go ahead and get your credentials. You do not have to provide any credit card or anything like that. You can start testing right now for free. And if you get stuck, under our resources link, we have a forum and you can hop in here, ask any question at all, and we will try our best to help you as soon as we can. Thank you, and stay tuned for more.